It is Monday, February 27th, 2017. Welcome to your Greeley-Evans School Board meeting. This meeting will now come to order. Will you join me in the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. Roll call, Ms. Crane.
Mr. DeWitt?
Present.
Mr. Hafley?
Present.
Mr. Hall?
Present.
Mr. Lydiak?
Present.
Ms. Pappas?
Present.
Dr. Richard?
Present.
Mrs. Solis?
Present.
7 members present.
Thank you very much. Well, tonight I want to point out that the board has the unfortunate opportunity to consider the resignation of Mr. Jeremy West, who's the godfather of El Fuego and any other wonderful innovations of our nutrition programs. He's not taking his services away from Colorado kids, but he's stretching a little bit farther away from the district, and I think maybe all of us certainly send him our best wishes as he takes his successful approach toward nutrition to the next level. So we certainly wish him well, and he will be missed. The next item on the agenda is the hearing of persons desiring to speak before the board. We have a few minutes set aside every evening for opportunities to hear from the community. We usually set the limit at about 3 minutes per speaker. And we have a little maximum period of time that we place on this. And usually the board hears from the community member, and we have the opportunity to then follow up with that community member after the meeting. We don't normally have any ongoing discussions because of our agenda. So the first person is Pastor David Meek, and this is about the online Bible curriculum. And I've warned Pastor Meek he need not run to, but I'm glad to have you here, sir. Welcome.
I'm just so excited to get here.
Welcome here, welcome.
And I want to get you home early because I guess there must be a blizzard coming in. You know, everybody's shopping at the stores, you know, and that's where they're at.
Okay.
No, I just want to again thank you for considering the Bible curriculum, you know, online Bible curriculum, which is BibleInSchools.net. And I know you probably haven't had time to look at it, but it gives you all the information. There's an 11-page article on it about it's being legal. It's in 39 states, and I don't know how many schools. And, of course, the biggest endorsement is Walker, Texas Ranger. I did pull a bunch of endorsements off. There's a whole bunch of endorsements on here, and Steve Hall's on here twice. I don't know how. He's a PhD. So I don't know how it happened. And then it's John G. Hall, and then Steve Hall, and there's a Steve G. Hall. So I don't know if they're a relation to you, Steve. But anyway, there's a whole bunch of them. Anyway, I just want to thank you for considering that. I have contacted, of course, the state school board, so I want you all to be first and beat them, okay, rather than having the state come down and tell us what to do in that. So I just want to thank you for that. Any elementary school teachers or principals, I do Mountain Man for the 4th grade. History class, I dress up and I portray my legendary relative, Joe Meek of the Mountain Man. He actually made Oregon a territory and was the first marshal. And you ladies will like this because President Polk's wife, Sarah, was his cousin.
That'll do it.
And when he got to the White House, found out President Polk's private secretary was also his cousin. It's an unreal story, but I do it for free, and I do it anywhere, any place, about any time except Sundays. And I do not take up an offering, okay? But anyway, I want to thank you really to consider that, and I know you know what to do. So, Father, I just ask you to bless the board, everybody, and the principals and everything they have to do. And so we just ask you to bless them and minister to them, especially help the school board in making the decisions, Lord, to help our kids, Lord, help America, make it all great again. And we ask it in the name of Jesus. Amen. Oh, one more thing. It's not an evangelistic thing. It's not a proselytizing thing, because that's what everybody's concerned about. It's just studying the Bible. You do it from history and literature and different things. But it's all on there, okay? BibleInSchools.net. Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks, Pastor.
I'll give you since you're the president.
Aww.
There you go.
I'll let them look at this. That's awesome.
Pastor Meek.
Thank you, sir. The next speaker is Kenneth Watts to discuss mill levy override and public support. And Kenneth Watts, you're here all the time, sir. Welcome.
Good evening, President DeWitt, board members, Dr. Pilch. I'm just here just to give you guys a little update since the last time I was here. So we're going to try to get some support and help you guys out in any way we can to get our meal levy passed. And any other thing we can do to help with education and other things that, to further our community. And since I spoke last, my friend Julie here, we've organized a group where she's the leader, and it's over 380 parents, teachers, business owners, just regular old people, willing to support you and to help you. And we have Mitch here too, and he's a guru. That's what I mean. He can do anything web-based. And we just let you know that we are here for you, and we're ready to work for you. And anything that you need, just let us know, and we're ready.
Awesome. Thank you, Kenneth. The next speaker is Ms. Pat Otto, and she's here to talk about something called Read Across America.
Dr. Pilch, Mr. DeWitt, and members of the board, thank you again for allowing me to come before you this year and speak about Read Across America. Each year, thousands of children across America celebrate Dr. Seuss's birthday through Read Across America. In May 1997, a small reading task force at NEA came up with a big idea. Let's celebrate and create a day for reading. The group decided we'll hold pep rallies to get kids excited. We hold pep rallies to get kids excited about football. We assemble to remember the character counts. Why don't we do something to get kids excited about reading? We'll call it NEA's Read Across America, and we'll celebrate it on Dr. Seuss's birthday. And so was born on March 2nd, 1998, the largest celebration of reading this country has ever seen. Now in its 20th year, this year-round program focuses on motivating children and teens to read through events, partnerships, and reading resources. Motivating children to read, as we all know, is an important factor in student achievement and creating lifelong successful readers. Research has shown that children who are motivated to spend more time reading do better in school. This year, Read Across America will be celebrating 20 years of encouraging children and teens to read all year long. As part of the celebration, NEA has put out a ton of free resources. I have sent those links and all that information to all the schools so they can access that and get those. There's calendars, posters, book lists. This year, they're really focusing on diversity. So if school libraries are lacking in books about diversity, there's now book lists so they can start ordering and updating their libraries. And so in the spirit of Dr. Seuss, remember, you're never too old, too wacky, too wild to pick up a book and read with a child. Thank you.
Well said, ma'am. Thank you very much. The next item is the work session report. Ms. Crane.
Board of Education President Roger DeWitt began the work session with open comments and updates from the board members. He reviewed the board calendar and upcoming events. Superintendent Dr. Deirdre Pilch spoke about the upcoming transportation and budget considerations. Board members asked questions and received responses from the superintendent and district leadership, and that concluded the work session.
Thank you, ma'am. Seems like it might be just about time for the superintendent's report. Dr. Pilch? And you mentioned just moments ago, this is the second anniversary of your being selected for this position. That's kind of awesome. Third? Did I miss a year?
Second. Third?
Second year.
Second year. Okay.
Wow, time flies.
Don't correct me when I think I'm right. It doesn't happen that often. Dr. Pilch, please welcome in. Happy anniversary.
Thank you, Mr. DeWitt. Yes, 2 years ago on this exact night, our Board of Education, the Board of Education then, selected me as Superintendent of Schools for District 6, and I couldn't be happier today than I was that night. I mean, I'm just thrilled still to serve as your Superintendent of Schools, and I especially want to give a shout out to all of you, as well as the many members of our community and my staff who have made my husband, Jeff, and I feel so welcome here in the community and have helped us to transition to this wonderful community. And, you know, we're enjoying life here in District 6, and the work is messy and sticky and gooey, and I'm excited to be the superintendent who gets to lead the work. So thank you to you all for allowing me to be your superintendent of schools. Thank you. I have a few announcements.
Please take time.
So Friday night, my husband and I and a couple of friends, we were able to attend the El Teatro program Friday night that is directed by Miss Coney at Greeley-West High School. Students from Greeley-West, Central, and Northridge, all three participated. They also did an alumni recognition, and students who have participated in El Teatro in the past attended. It was a beautiful, beautiful celebration, and lots of recognition from all the kids who come to us from so many different countries here in District 6. So it's a lot of fun. I recommend you all go next year if you haven't been before. This weekend, on Friday night, we have the opportunity to go downtown Greeley for the kickoff for the first Friday night's events here in downtown Greeley, where our students' artwork will be on display. We have artwork from many of our schools, from most of our District 6 schools, including our charters. Over 900 pieces of art will be on display. The businesses display the art. We get a chance to go down and go through those merchants downtown and support them as well. There's specific information on our website at www.greeleyschools.org. The map of where the artwork is displayed can be found there. You know, we are also already in the thick of planning for the next school year. We've been planning budget, and we've been planning programs and activities, and one of the important events that kicks us off for the fall is our school kickoff community celebration event in August, where we bring all of our students and families who are able to come to Island Grove, and we welcome them. We welcome them with free backpacks and materials. We feed them lunch. We have prizes and lots of community vendors and community agencies there to answer questions and support our families here in District 6. There is a big kickoff event for fundraising for this big community event that will be held on April 14th. So the local soul and rock group, the Burrows, will be hosting a benefit event on April 14th at 7 p.m. at Greeley Central High School in the auditorium. And the proceeds for that event will go to our school kickoff event and will benefit our students. So wanted to get a plug in for that and hope that many of you can join us. That school kickoff event will be on August 12th. So here we are, over 6 months out, and we're ready to get things going. So we hope to have a nice support for the Burrows and for our school kickoff. That's all I have tonight, Mr. DeWitt.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The next item on our agenda is the approval of the agenda, and that is an action item. I'd be delighted to have a motion at this time.
I move that the Board of Education of Weld County School District 6 approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Comments from board members? Roll call. Ms. Crane?
Mr. DeWitt?
Aye.
Mr. Haefling?
Aye.
Mr. Hall?
Aye.
Mr. Lydiak?
Aye.
Ms. Pappas?
Aye.
Dr. Richard?
Aye.
Mrs. Solis?
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. The next item is the approval of the consent agenda. The motion is found on page 6. I'd be glad to accept that motion at this time.
I move that the Board of Education of Weld County School District 6 approve items as presented on the consent agenda and authorize the officers to sign any and all contracts.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Comments?
Yeah.
Mr. Hall?
Could I ask Brad a couple questions on this? Or
You want to ask
ask you.
through the superintendent, please?
On the roofing repair, AFE, and bid? Typically in roofing deals that I've seen before, they didn't have a variance of 100,000 from cheap to expensive because it's labor and materials, and the materials are basically usually all the same. So I'm a little concerned at the spread and of the 5 bids that we got, how comfortable are we that, or have we quantified what the differences were between those 5 bids? It's a lot of money, and just $250,000 bid, $100,000 off.
So Brad, why don't you come and respond to that? I know that you've looked closely at these bids, and so let me be clear, Mr. Hall, you're worried that we're spending $100,000 less on the bid that we selected over the other bids?
I'm concerned that we're not getting what we should be getting possibly.
For the material.
For the
Why is
material,
there
'cause
such a
there's not
range
that
here?
much.
Yeah.
The quality of the material is specified.
Okay.
So we know what we're getting exactly.
Okay.
It comes into their labor costs, their timing. Do they have time to come and do it? Are we putting them at an inconvenience? Those we pay a premium for.
Okay.
Some companies, they're okay with coming in and doing littler jobs if we are flexible with their schedule, as long as they're flexible with ours.
Is Front Range Roofing a vendor we're familiar with, Mr.
Yes, it
Johnson?
is,
Yeah.
very much so, very much so, very comfortable. The material product we're going to get, we know what we're going to get.
Okay.
Very comfortable with it.
I just thought that it warranted getting the explanation on the record. So,
Okay.
because we're not the only ones that see these.
Right.
And it can, that much of a difference can really raise an eyebrow on that. That's 35% difference. So that's why I asked. I wasn't
Fair
doubting
question.
your diligence or anything like that. I just wanted
Fair
to get that
question.
explanation on the record.
Yeah, labor, flexibility, timing, everything like that is
Thanks,
what we
Brad.
change.
Thank you, sir. Other comments or questions? Thank you, Ms. Roll call, Ms. Crane.
Mr. DeWitt?
Aye.
Mr. Hafley?
Aye.
Mr. Hall?
Aye.
Mr. Lydiak?
Aye.
Ms. Pappas?
Aye.
Dr. Richard?
Aye.
Ms. Solis?
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you, ma'am. The next item is an action item, and I'd be glad to accept a motion for it at this time. Proclamation, Read Across America, which I believe you might have heard just moments ago introduced to this group.
I move that the Board of Education of Weld County School District 6 adopt the proclamation declaring March 2nd, 2017 as Read Across America Day in District 6.
Second.
Dandy, it's been moved and seconded. I'd like to read that proclamation at this time prior to your decision on the vote. It's a proclamation of the Board of Education of Weld County School District 6, Read Across America. Whereas the Board of Education of Weld County School District 6 recognizes the ability to read well is crucial for students to succeed in all academic areas of their education, and whereas opportunity is afforded daily in our schools for silent and oral reading, and whereas community volunteers work with our students to help improve reading skills, and whereas adults reading to students allows children to gain knowledge and to improve their own reading skills, and whereas children and adults alike have been delighted for decades by the books written by Theodore Geisel, a.k.a. Dr. Seuss, and whereas March 2nd, 2017 is the 113th anniversary of Dr. Seuss's birthday, now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Education of Weld County School District 6 proclaims March 2nd, 2017 as Read Across America Day in our schools, and encourages adults both in schools and at home to commit time to read to a child on this date. Pending your approval, I will certainly sign this proclamation. Questions or comments? Ms. Pappas.
I just want to say thank you to the invitations that we've had to read at schools. It's one of my favorite things to do, and the best part of being on a school board. So thank you for all the invitations, and look forward to reading this week. Thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. Roll call, Ms. Crane?
Mr. DeWitt?
Aye.
Mr. Hafley?
Aye.
Mr. Hall?
Aye.
Mr. Lydiak?
Aye.
Ms. Pappas?
Aye.
Dr. Richard?
Aye.
Mrs. Solis?
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you all very much. That's exciting. 113 years. Dang.